Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the market, and we start off with the JSE that just closed. The local bourse trading in the green during the day. We are seeing quite a nice picture on that front, with the all share up on the day by more than 0.8%. That largely coming from the industrial 25 that's seen a climb of almost 1.5%. Resources 10 complex following in the same direction, climbing by 0.7%, and the financial 15 eking out a gain of more than 0.4%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the U.S. markets, and of course we got more labor data coming out of the U.S. today. Of course, yesterday we had the job openings, surprising to the upside, but today we had the ADP private payrolls for May actually growing less than expected and less than what we saw in April. Of course, 2 days ahead of the non-farm payrolls that coming out on Friday. A sea of green, though. S&P 500 up by more than 0.1%. Take heavy Nasdaq climbing by more than 0.25%, and the Dow with an uptick of 0.13%. Let's take a look at what is happening with the markets across the Atlantic, and we do have the European Central Bank coming out with its meeting tomorrow. Latest interest rate decision where there is a cut in interest rates expected. And then obviously amid the friction between the US and the EU on tariffs, we've had the European Trade Commissioner saying that talks are advancing in the right direction between the two regions. The FTSE 100 up by more than 0.25%, CAC 40 climbing by 2/3%, and a gain on the DAX of more than 0.75%. Let's check in on the currency scene and start off with how the Rand is doing against some of the major currencies. The Rand remaining relatively stable against the US dollar at 17 Rand 80, against the pound at 24 Rand 16, and against the euro at 20 Rand 34. Let's take a look at how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar that's standing at 1.14, pound dollar at 1.35, and the yen just below 143 against the greenback.